that's fine. Did you speak with them?
We're going, I think, to Chattanooga the week after that. So.
Thank you.
I think Oh my Lord.
So I hope to God they don't listen to me. I know my daughter will.
All right, well, you're going to have to let me know when that comes on the air. Oh my God.
Yeah, you got my text about Mr. Dean. I told him, you text me, I told him
That is
you're not
one
going
of the
to,
craziest concepts.
I mean, the meeting was not till 4 What's going on? Where's your crowd? My crowd. Health, yeah. We've had some before, and as long as you and Mark are okay. If that one gets in and the other ones don't, I don't think that the residents that live like in the Fowler area would be able to move. The one that's already there, I mean the one that's public housing, the residents that want to move from there, they probably would not be able to. Research is not what I thought. I just know for me, it has been like a downhill battle for tax credits. After like 15
Updated drawings and site plan and stuff.
Okay, if we can,
I guess site plan will have the 50-foot,
get started. Who? The invocation. He might be here. All right, we'll try to come to order. It's 6:05. I'll call to order the City of Douglasville's regular city council meeting for tonight, which is May the 17th. We do have an invocation by our executive pastor, David White, of the First Baptist Church of Douglasville. We'll have him do the invocation, and after that, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by the Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Terry Miller. Thank you so much for coming this evening, Pastor David White. If you can please stand for the invocation.
Thank you, Mayor. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you, Lord, for the blessings that you've given us, and primarily the blessings really around the just the people here who are involved in our city government. Lord, I pray your blessings upon the city council, the government employees, and Lord, just give them wisdom and discernment. Lord, give us all a sense of peace and unity, understanding, patience. Not all the decisions are very clear, and sometimes, Lord, I pray that you would just make it in a way that we can come together as a community to serve the people in our community and to really lift your name up high. Father, we thank you so much that you are our creator and redeemer. Lord, our wonderful counselor and our everlasting Father and Prince of Peace. Father, I pray the blessings upon this meeting, that you know the end from the beginning. We don't, but we know that you've got everything in your hands. It's in Jesus Christ's name that we pray. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you, Pastor White, for giving us that invocation and blessing. We really appreciate you asking for peace and discernment and wisdom, and we appreciate that. We do have a lot of announcements this evening and presentations, and so we will go through the presentations first before we get to, I'm not going to say they're boring, but just announcements that we, the presentation of how the meeting's the protocol for the meeting. So we'll do the exciting things first. We do have a proclamation to present, and it's from myself on the recommendation of our Councilwoman, Dr. LaShun Burr Danley, to present a proclamation honoring Miss Blanche Albin for her dedicated service as a registered nurse for 34 years at Wellstar Douglas. 34 years at Wellstar Douglas Hospital. Let's give her a hand. So I will read her proclamation, and then we do have another proclamation for Wellstar, the Vice President and Hospital Administrator of Wellstar Hospital. So people who are watching on YouTube, we are allowed to have this many people in the room. Everyone's getting vaccinated. It's based on the governor's recommendation. And so, but I will read this proclamation, and I'll ask Councilmember Burr Danley to stand in front while Ms. Albin comes forward. Office of the Mayor, to honor Mrs. Blanche Albin in her career at Wellstar Douglas Women's Center. Whereas Blanche Albin was employed by Wellstar Douglas Hospital as a registered nurse for 34 years, beginning her career in 1986. And whereas she held various positions and titles such as birthing center charge nurse, educator, clinical coordinator, and resource nurse. And whereas she received numerous honors and recognition, such as Registered Nurse Certification, NCC in 1990, Best of the Best Award in 2001, Nursing Excellence Award in Leadership 2005 and 2007, Clinical Advanced Practice Levels 2, 3, and 4, 25 and 30 years of service recognition by Wellstar Nursing Excellence Award for Clinical Care in 2021, Shining Star Award and Shining Team Award in 2013, in 2015, Daisy Award nominee in 2016, Nursing Excellence Award, 5-star nurse in 2017, Wellstar Douglas Pathway to Excellence Representative in 2020. All of these awards. And whereas she is a member of the Association for Women's Health, Obstetrician, and Neonatal Nursing, and whereas Ms. Albin was an active member of the community through organizations like the March of Dimes, Douglas County Auxiliary Board Hospital Liaison, American Health Walk, and the Georgia Department of Public Health Project Lead Pre-Team Labor and Safe Sleep. Now, therefore, I, Rochelle Robinson, Mayor of the City of Douglasville, and on behalf of the Douglasville City Council and all of the citizens of the City of Douglasville, do hereby recognize Ms. Blanche Albin's long and industrious career as a medical professional and a pillar of the prenatal community, and wish her well in her retirement. So proclaimed this 17th day of May, 2021. Please come forward to receive your award, Ms. Albin. You have to say something. Yes, ma'am, in the microphone. It's like the Academy Awards. You just, give an acceptance speech.
This way? I didn't say right, lower this way. All right. I'm speechless. I'm so surprised. I want to thank everybody, my coworkers. They're wonderful back there. Just a great group of people to work with. I've enjoyed my time at Wellstar.
Yes,
It's a great organization, and thank you for this.
Yes, ma'am. Let's give her another hand. How many babies? Do you know how many babies that you either helped with or too many to count?
I don't have a clue.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, well, we'll come around and take a picture with you if you don't mind. Councilmember Burr Danley, if you would stand in front with me. That's so wonderful. She's very popular. She has a lot of support. That's so sweet. Aw, so kind. Now, we do have another proclamation to present. The best care given to Douglas County community by Wellstar Hospital and its staff, physicians, employees, volunteers, to Elizabeth Bunder, Regional Director or Development Officer of the Wellstar Foundation, and Mr. Craig Owens, Senior Vice President and Hospital Administrator of Wellstar Hospital. I didn't see Craig. Is he here? Hey, friend. I haven't seen you in a long time, Rotarian. So if you would make your way, please, to the front, and I'll read this proclamation, and then we'll have pictures, and I guess the whole hospital staff can come up and they can have a picture. It's going to be or maybe we can stand in front of you and you all take the picture. But Office of the Mayor to recognize, celebrate the celebration of Wellstar Douglas Hospital. Whereas beginning in 1948, Douglas Hospital functioned as a 15-bed facility, later increasing to 98 beds in 1975 with the construction of Douglas General Hospital, which people who've been here a long time still call it Douglas General. They don't say Wellstar, but it's like a marriage, so it's a good thing. They stay together. In 1975, the construction of Douglas General Hospital, opening its birthing center in 1976, therefore becoming widely known as one of the first hospitals where mothers and newborns roomed together. And whereas Wellstar Douglas Hospital continually provides the best care to every neighbor through stressful circumstances at the height of the coronavirus pandemic. And whereas Wellstar Douglas's service include heart care, imaging, labor and delivery, orthopedic surgery, physical therapy, robotic surgery, wound care, emergency services, and a sleep center. And whereas Wellstar Douglas Hospital has consistently received awards honoring their work in quality health care and delivering excellence, including recent accolades with Newsweek's Best Maternity Hospital list, Loan Institute, 6th best hospital in the nation for addressing social inequalities, Healthcare's Patient Safety Excellence Award, and the Douglas County Chamber's Samuel P. Roberts Community Service Award. Now, therefore, I, Rochelle Robinson, Mayor of the City of Douglasville, and the citizens and the City Council of Douglasville congratulate the physicians, employees, and volunteers of Wellstar Douglas Hospital for their dedication and service, providing the best care to every Douglas County neighbor. So proclaimed this 17th day of May, 2021. Congratulations. Let's please give them a hand as well. Mr. Owens, if you would like to bring words, we would love to hear from you. It's such a blessing to see you looking great. I always tell him that he's Joe Namath, he's like the Joe Namath. And he's been such a great friend. I love serving on the board for about 5 years, and so it's a great pleasure to have you here. Please address us.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you so much, City Council, for this tremendous honor. We truly appreciate it. And I was surprised when I heard about Ms. Albin's award. We call her Bunny, by the way. But we're so thrilled. I'm so thrilled that this team is here to participate in this because they make it happen.
Yes.
And this has been a tough year, as you know. But the team at Douglas has just shown through and helped so many people that were suffering over this COVID-19 pandemic. But more than that, over the years, we've got a great team of caring professionals, and I'm so glad that they're here to share in this. But thank you so much for honoring us and for giving us this attention. We're thrilled to announce that very shortly we're going to be opening another service, a new pediatric emergency department.
Oh, wow.
And so just a special place just for our little patients.
Yes, sir.
And so we're so excited about that, and we are glad to continue to serve this community. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mr. Owens, just give him a hand. I know, somebody started clapping. Could you give us a brief report or update on the birthing center? Those rooms are beautiful. I wish I had my kids, I had to go to Cobb, but there, as well as, is there a cardiac department as well that you added on?
We've expanded in the last several years, the ICU, the Women's Center, several expansions. We've added robotic surgery
the
offerings.
cyber knife.
Yeah, the robot, the
Yes.
robots are taking over. And now we've got the pediatric ED coming, and we're continuing to keep up with the growth of the community, and we're excited to serve and to provide quality care to our community. So thank you again.
You're welcome. Any council members want to say anything? Okay, if we could please come around and have a photo with Mr. Would you like, Paul? I don't want to leave ladies out. Do you want to say anything? Okay, we're taking pictures. Okay, we'll come out and take a photo, and then we'll have all of the Wellstar people come up if you don't mind. Okay, let's take a picture, please.
I have no flash, so you
Okay,
can.
all right, here we go. All right.
The rest of the team want to join? That'd be great. Yeah.
Good thing I put a wide angle on here.
I know.
Every time we get in the picture, somehow I end up right next to Chris, which makes me look like I'm goofy dog. But thank you, I'll get up on a chair.
Are you gonna be able to get everywhere?
Here we go. That's everybody.
The pink is pretty, I see that. I feel more secure with all this medical staff in the room. Thank you all so much. That was a lot of fun. Now, we are going to opt not to do our resolution honoring Mr. Hudson this evening because we are still waiting to have the family come in. And so once we schedule that time, we'll have the family of Mr. Scot Hudson come in to talk about the Scot Hudson Day the City of Douglasville will host and have from now on, which will be October 2nd, every year, which is his birthday. So we'll have the family come in at another time and do that presentation. Well, we do have an introduction of our summer interns from our Human Resource Director, Ms. Teaa Allston-Bing. This is always exciting. I'm so happy to have our young people come in every year. I'm not certain Ms. Allston-Bing can tell us how many years it's been, but I appreciate HR taking the recommendation of from myself to have interns come in and just explore this new talent. I know we have a shining star, one of our interns, Miss, oh, there's not a lot of talking out there, Miss Jackson, who started out as an intern, and so just excited to have people come in. She's here today, Miss Mia. Okay, if you can talk, Miss Allston-Bing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good
You're
evening,
welcome.
Mayor and Council. Teaa Allston-Bing, Human Resources Director, 6695 Church Street. And Thank you, Mayor, Council, for this opportunity. As you mentioned, a little bit of history for the summer internship program. Madam Mayor, you gave us a directive back in 2017 to start being creative with this idea to bring forth a summer internship program that the City of Douglasville could implement for years to come. Our first internship installment was actually in 2018 when we implemented our first round of 6. We also had a summer internship program for 2019. Obviously, in 2020, we did not have a program. We put that on hold due to COVID. 2021, we feel we're at a place to be able to continue with this program. We have interned 12 so far, total interns. As you said, Ms. Jackson came to us, and some of our interns throughout this past 4 years have been able to seek permanent employment with the City of Douglasville, and others have gone on to do greater things as well. Today we have 6 interns that we'd like to present to you. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Westfield. This year is his program, and so I'm able to kind of let him have the reins and go through this process. We're very, very excited. Today we're going to present some awesome young professionals before you, for you all to learn a little bit more about them, their background, and what departments that they'll be working in. This year, we've also extended our program to be 40 hours a week for the summer duration instead of 24. We've also extended the duration of the summer internship program to 11 weeks. So these young professionals will be with us until August 6th. They will come back again before you at the end of their duration to present to you their journey. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Westfield.
All righty.
Brian Westfield, HR Manager, 6695 Church Street. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. I would like to go ahead and start the introductions. First, we have Freya Bandel Tanis. She's coming to us from Georgia Tech, where she is studying city planning and civil engineering. I can bring her up if you have questions for her.
Please do. We want to see their faces. Welcome. And I know it isn't a bumblebee. It's not a bumblebee, right? It's like a yellow jacket.
I think it's a yellow jacket.
Yes. If you could just talk to us about yourself and where you're from and what you're that is very interesting major.
Yes, I grew up in Chicago, which is where I first fell in love with transportation and cities in general, and identified the opportunities I had as someone living in a walkable community that not even everyone in Chicago, much less everyone around the country, is able to have. And I got a math major bachelor's at St. Olaf College before doing a year of AmeriCorps service with Habitat for Humanity in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and then started my dual master's degrees at Georgia Tech.
Very good. Any questions? Very smart. Nice to see you, young lady. Welcome to the City of Douglasville. I know it.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
So she will be going to engineering work with Mr. Marcus Thompson. So Marcus, she's yours tomorrow. Next we have Mesfin Gazayan. He's studying accounting at Georgia State University, and he will be going to the finance department.
Very good. Come on up. Panthers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I have to remember all these mascots. I was a college cheerleader, so we had to study all the mascots. Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, members of the council.
Oh, tell something
Oh, sorry.
about yourself. That's a finance person. Getting to the point.
So I'm a finance major at Georgia State University. I expect to graduate in the spring of 2022. Public service kind of runs in the family. My father's a regional supervisor at the Georgia Department of Revenue. My mother was an expert at the Ethiopian Centers for Disease Control back in the 80s. So public service kind of runs in the family. I've always been interested in local government, and I couldn't think of a better way to learn more about local government than actually being involved in local government. So I'm very much looking forward to this opportunity.
Very good. It's nice to meet you. The football team is really coming along, huh?
Yes, ma'am. It's improving every year.
Yeah, they just can't beat Kennesaw, where my daughter is. No. Any comments or questions from council members? Anything? I know you have a son. And
Yeah,
go
I just
ahead.
say, glad to hear say you got somebody from Georgia State. I hear it's a pretty decent school.
Yes, sir.
His son Isaac's there. He's going to a rising junior.
Yeah, he's a junior in
Yeah.
the film program. So in case you run into a guy named Isaac who doesn't look much like me, and just tell him I said hi.
He looks
Sure
like his
thing.
mother. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, next we have John Richard Gordon from Georgia Southern. Come on up.
Oh,
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members.
good evening.
My name is John Gordon. I am a rising junior at Georgia Southern University. I major in sports management. This year is kind of a new experience for me. I'm usually experienced in the legal field and project, but now I'm into community development. So it's actually going to be a new summer for me, a new beginning to actually being opened up into seeing new opportunities and new projects, new experience.
Very good. Eagles.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. My son was at Georgia Southern. He had to focus at Georgia Southern. You have to really be on your game in Statesboro, but it's a great school. So which department?
Community.
Parks and Recreation, or where are you going?
Community development.
Are you going to community development? Miss Williams. Okay. Well, welcome. It's good. You're tall. You on the Frisbee team, or?
No, genetics.
Oh, it's just, well, my son was on the Frisbee team, and it wasn't the Eagles, it was the Beagles, right? Yeah, Ultimate Frisbee. Joe, okay, you said, I don't know anything about that. Nice,
Sorry.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next we have Ms. Skylar James. She is studying pre-law at Georgia State University, and she's coming to HR.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and other council members. I'm Skylar James. I'm upcoming junior at Georgia State University. I'm studying pre-law, and I'll be working in the HR department, so very much working with people and learning the inner workings of different employee departments, and that's something I'm very excited about. I grew up in the city of Douglasville, so it means a lot to me to be able to give back to my community.
Very good. We're excited to have you here, and you'll be with Dr. Westfield and
Yes.
Miss Allston-Bing, soon to be Dr. Allston-Bing as well. So welcome to the HR department. Pre-law is very exciting. I think you'll be ready to take the LSAT one day.
Yes,
Yes,
studying
ma'am.
every day.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank
and
you.
welcome.
All right, next we have Mr. Kareem Leslie. He comes to us from University of West Georgia, where he's studying economics. He will be going to the Parks Department.
Oh, the Parks Department. So wolves or something, right?
Yes, you are correct about that. Hello, Madam Mayor and City Council members. My name is Kareem Leslie. I'm a recent graduate. When I say recent, Saturday was graduation.
Congratulations. Let's
Thank
give
you.
you a hand.
Thank you. While there, I was studying political science and economics, and this fall, I'll be starting my master's program as a Panther at Georgia State University in economics as well.
Well, very good. I see a Divine 9 something on you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I
Kappa
like
Alpha
that. I
Psi.
like that. Just pick up. Well, very good. Welcome. Are you going to Parks?
Yes, I'll be with Parks and Rec.
Okay, Mr. Landrum, is he still here? Okay. Well, it's a tall gentleman that, will be a great mentor for you in Parks. We're excited to welcome you to the City of Douglasville. And Council Member, University of West Georgia, you want to tell him? Yeah.
Yes, it is
Good school.
very great.
Welcome. We're excited to have you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, last we have Miss Venetia Prendergast. She is coming to us from Bethune-Cookman. She is currently at Kennesaw State seeking an MPA.
Okay.
She's going to the legal department.
Very good. I know, Bethune-Cookman. Mary McLeod Bethune, I know that, National Negro Council Women, and Kennesaw is Hootie Who, because my daughter's there.
Bethune-Cookman is the Wildcats.
Oh, it's a Wildcats, okay, HBCU.
Yes.
Yes,
Hello,
ma'am.
Madam Mayor and council members. My name is Venetia Prendergast. After graduation, I got my political science degree, and then afterwards, I pretty much started interning and working for law firms. I have aspirations to become an attorney one day. So after obtaining my master's in public administration, I hope to get my Juris Doctorate and then continue on in education and learning from there. I'm very excited for this opportunity and position,
good.
and I can't wait to learn and grow and get working. So it's
Well,
really nice to
good.
meet all of you.
In Kennesaw State, our assistant city manager, her master's from Kennesaw. And Al, hooty hoo. It's nice to welcome you here. You're welcome.
So this internship will begin tomorrow, and like Teaa said, it will end on the 6th of August. Subject to your questions, that's all we have.
You've extended the program because of virtual learning, or just because they can stay until August 6th? I know some schools start, like the baby girls at Savannah State, I think she starts on the 6th or something.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Mayor, we had a different concept for this program this year, which was actually supposed to be last year, because we, through the feedback and suggestions from our department directors and the experience of our interns, there was a need to extend it longer than 8 weeks, so that it could be a more comprehensive program and just an opportunity to learn throughout the entire break for some of the colleges and universities and trade schools that we partner with, and just sought out the feedback with the city manager's direction to extend the program to make sure that we had the budget could sustain it. Then that's how we came from the 8 weeks to the 11 weeks. So we're excited about that.
Okay, and they're able to, I know it's not children labor laws or anything, but those hours that they're working.
Yes, they're all over 16, so we're good to go. You're correct. That is an employment law. Yes, ma'am. But we're good to go in that area.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Allston-Bing and Dr. Westfield. Do we have any questions from the council members? Yes, sir. Councilman Adams.
This won't be a question, as you probably know where I'm headed with this. I just want to welcome each of you. I've got some history with a lot of the schools that you all have come from and are working with. I look forward to meeting each of you. I attended West Georgia. I attended Georgia State. But I've got to say, Ms. Allston-Bing, I'm a little disappointed. Well, maybe Mr. West, I'm a little disappointed. We didn't get any red and black in here.
But last year we did.
But that was then, and this is now. But in all fairness, and all in the sake of fun, we look forward to working with you all. Wish you nothing but the best, and we appreciate the job that our staff is continuing to do in that area. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Any other comments from council members? Ms. Maya, I'm putting you on the spot. You want to say anything as a former, as a former intern? We were happy to get you from Georgia State. I know. Just tell us where you're working and your experience. You can give some advice to the interns. Yes, ma'am.
Maya Jackson, 6701 Church Street. I work as a Planner 1 in the Community Development Department. I started in 2019, went to Georgia State, the real GSU, and make the most of your experience. There's a great group of people working here, and everybody has a lot to offer. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. I'm still here. So.
Thank you, Ms. Maya.
And she's homegrown.
She is homegrown, Douglasville. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome. Welcome, interns. We're happy to have you. If you have any questions, you can always come up and talk with us. Okay, so I will go do the protocol for the meeting, and then we will jump into, our agenda as printed. I'd like to welcome you to the Douglasville City Council regular voting meeting. This is a City Council regular meeting of agenda items where official action will be taken this evening based on the legislative work session that we had this previous Thursday. If the business you're here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the agenda item comments from citizens and delegates section for you to discuss your business. We are still in COVID-19 measures based on what is presented with the governor's office. Some of the restrictions have been laxed as far as gathering together, and we are adhering to all the CDC and the restrictions from the governor. We do have, I'm not certain if our council member is still going to be on for the virtual meeting, but those are being held as well. The teleconference consistent with official code of Georgia annotated section 50-14-1G due to emergency conditions involving public safety in order to mitigate the transmission of the coronavirus and to reduce the risk of COVID-19 illness. That code section, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows for local governments to meet in whole or in part by teleconference in the event that emergency, so long as means are afforded to the public to have simultaneous access to the teleconference meeting. For this meeting, we are conducting and convening partially by Zoom software as shown on the city's website. And know that public may join via YouTube media platform. Assistant City Manager, do we have people that are signed up to speak?
I have individuals signed up to speak.
Okay, and is the Councilmember Watts still on?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, he is.
All right, so we do have addition to the requirements from the state and the governor's office. We still have temperature checking and sanitary stations for antiseptic wipes and bacterial stuff. All of that is all around the conference center. So I would ask that when you present your comments, that you would present those on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. You'll receive a warning from the chair. If you deviate from that second time speaking out of place, we'll ask that you will discontinue from making those comments. Please keep your comments on a professional level. Only one person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud or react to speakers or speak from the audience or cheer or carry on a conversation with the audience or be disruptive. I remind you that we're only required to accept public comments on zoning matters. If you have a cell phone or electronic devices, we'll ask that you'll please put those in silent mode or turn those off during the meeting so they will not be disruptive. Now, this is how the meeting will go. The format, the agenda items will be handled as the following. The committee chairperson will read the agenda item. Then that person representing that agenda item or applicant will make his or her presentation. Myself and council members will possibly ask clarifying questions or seek more information based on what you present this evening. We ask that you would please, during this time, only bring new information to the table based on what we've heard from last week. We ask that you not repeat the same information. After that, the committee chairperson will ask for comments or statements from the audience. There is a maximum of 20 minutes for those in favor of the item and 20 minutes for those in opposition. Each person has 5 minutes to speak to us. If there are more than 4 or 5 people, we ask that you would split your time up 3 minutes per person, as long as in totality it's just 20 minutes per side. There is a form that you should have filled out. It's a speaker sign-in card that's outside on the table. We ask that you would fill that out and turn it in to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker, who's in the rear. And if you're registered online, it should have been done online. Prior to approaching the microphone, give your card to the assistant city clerk or city clerk. Give us your name and address for the record. Each person has one opportunity to speak on that item. We ask that you would not turn this into a debate format or question and answer. We're just really here to receive the information and make our vote. Now, tonight we'll go just a little bit differently because we are voting this evening, so to go a little faster than it did last Thursday. If you have anything that's printed, any printed material, please give that to the city clerk as well. And again, if there is some item that is not on the agenda, we have ample time at the end of the agenda for comments from citizens and delegates for you to present your items. Now we'll move on with the agenda as presented. It should be one printed on the screen above us and or outside for distribution in hard copy. So we're down to item number 5, which is the minutes. And I will open the floor for minutes of the legislative work session, April 29th, 2021, and the regular meeting of May 3rd, 2021. Open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Thank you so much, Councilman Adams. We have a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Dr. Burr Danley.
You're welcome.
Do we have any further discussion, any corrections, or anything that we need to, the council member see in regards to the minutes? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Thank you, Councilman Watts. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The minutes are unanimously approved. Now we will move on with the consent agenda. I open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we have any additional comments or questions from council members? Thank you. I don't see any. Do you have any, Councilman Watts?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
nay. Thank you so much, Councilman Watts. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is unanimously approved. We'll move on then to item number 7, which is Economic Development Committee, and that is chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have
You're
no
welcome.
business at this time.
Thank you so much.
Development.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move on then to Finance Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business under finance tonight.
Thank you so much, Councilman Adams. We'll move on then to item number 9, which is Housing and Community Affairs Committee, and that is chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShun Burr Danley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have
You're
one
welcome.
item under Housing and Community Affairs. Adopt a resolution regarding the city's letter of support for GIC Low-Income Tax Credit Housing Program application year 2021. Ms.
Okay.
Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. I know we discussed this item at 5, so I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Do we have any questions from our mayor and council? I have a question. I just want to make sure, just for clarity, I know that the points that this developer would like is more competitive. Does that mean, well, it may not just mean this one, but does it fall under that there would be more Section 8 applicants that are able to apply for this type of housing?
Not really sure of the question, but I just know that the pool is much bigger for this round of, for the 9% applicant.
So the pool is much larger for those that may have a Section 8 voucher or may have lower income, is that correct?
Well, I'm referring to the number of applications that are submitted to DCA, but as it relates to the number of people that can apply for this particular housing here in Douglasville, it's competitive. They have to go through DCA as well, potentially, but it's really for senior housing. I think there is a Section 8 component as well for what they're trying to bring here, but it is, all of it's competitive.
Okay, all right. Do we have any other questions or comments? Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, Madam Mayor, make a motion that we approve item 21-248.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
It was a hearty second. I think it was a tie. Did you get who it was? Ms. Acker? Ms. Councilman Davis?
No, it was
Councilman
Davis.
Or Councilman Estes?
It was Sam.
It was Councilman Davis.
I'll take it.
Okay, you did. Okay, it's been properly moved and second to approve item 21-248. Do we have any additional comments or questions from council members? Any more deliberation? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 21.
Aye.
Thank you so much, Councilman Watts. Item 21-248 is unanimously approved.
No other business, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll move on to item number 10, which is Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
At this time, no business, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. 11, Personnel and Organization Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts. Coach Watts, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I Zoom went away, but it just came back.
No problem.
I have no business tonight. Personnel and organization. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome. Thanks, Coach. We'll move on then to someone who does have a lot of items. Planning and Development Committee, that's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams. Ms. Williams, you don't have to say Patrice Williams, 6190 from Church Street every time, but you can say your name. And however you want to handle it, Mr. Chairman, let me give you the gavel.
I don't think I'll need
You'll
the
need the
gavel,
gavel.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Under planning and development tonight, we do have numerous items. I'm going to request that as we hold these public hearings, please consider the time frame that is involved that Madam Mayor has already mentioned. And unless you have additional information, we don't need it rehashed. We don't need to tell the story again. We've heard it on Thursday night. It's relatively fresh in our memories, and we would appreciate just new information in these, okay? Starting with item A, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a variance to reduce the required 50-foot front setback in section 5.04B of the Unified Development Ordinance for a variance of 6 feet for a remaining requirement of 44 feet on the north side of a lot of 24.282 acres at 1700 North River Road in Land Lot 173, District 1, Section 5, Tract D, Book 41, page 93. Application by Brian Cardoza, Rooker Riverside LLC. Ms. Williams?
Okay, Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. At this time, I have no new information to add. I have not received any additional information from the applicant as well.
Okay, I do see that the applicant is present. Mr. Cardoza, if you do have new information or would like to add anything, please come forward. Okay, and Ms. Jackson, is there anyone on the phone or virtual that would be speaking concerning this item?
No, sir.
Okay. Do we have anyone in the hearing tonight that would have a comment as a part of this public hearing for or against with new information? Do we have any questions of council? Madam Mayor, do you have any other questions concerning it? Seeing none, we will then close the public hearing. And on item 21-159, I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 21-159. Do we have any additional comments or questions based on this, for this item from council members? Councilman Watts?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 21-159 is unanimously approved.
Moving on to item B, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a special land use permit for warehousing or indoor storage on property zoned LI Light Industrial, being approximately 24.282 acres at 1700 North River Road, Land Lot 173, District 1, Section 5, Tract D, Book 41, page 93. Application by Brian Cardoza, Rooker Riverside LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, we have nothing new to add.
Okay, and what about the applicant? Okay. Is there anyone virtually on, Ms. Jackson, for this item?
No, sir.
Okay. Madam Mayor, council, any questions or comments? Do we have anyone here in the hearing that would like to address the mayor and council concerning this with public comments or questions? Either for or against? Seeing none, then we will close this portion of the public hearing. And again, we'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
That is item 21-158.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 21-158. Do we have any additional comments or questions as relates to this item from council members? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
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 Thank you. I heard you, Councilman Watts. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 21-158 is unanimously approved.
Moving on to item C.
Yes, sir.
Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from R2 Single Family Residential Detached to LI Light Industrial District for 14.54 acres, Westmoreland Plaza, Land Lot 903, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 5. Application by Euphoric Development 5, LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director. We do have, the applicant is with us tonight, and they do have information that they want to provide.
Sure. Come forward, please.
Good evening. I'm Fred Bentley Jr., 241 Washington Avenue, Marietta, Georgia, 30060. It's good to be before you again. I have Mr. Austin Brannon, who is here to report. You kindly requested the opportunity that they meet with the neighborhood, and they have a full report and some stipulations that they would like to present to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello,
Good evening,
everybody.
Good
My name is Austin Brandon. I live at 829 Wardens Drive, Atlanta, Georgia. So it was requested as of last Thursday that we meet with the community behind us and kind of talk through some items and some concerns they had. The meeting, in my opinion, went very well. We had a Zoom call with roughly 10 of the residents in the neighborhood behind us, and they expressed some of their concerns, and so we did our best to put forth some stipulations that we feel like is, meeting them halfway on that. There's still some concerns they had that, unfortunately we weren't able to address, but some of them we had were, they currently have noise going on from 20 that they can hear. So what we did is stipulation number 3 in here, or I apologize, number 2, the Fork Development shall paint the rear exterior of the building green and brown to blend in with the natural buffer and the landscaping. So it was our thoughts to paint the back of the building, which was facing the neighborhood and community, a color to blend in with the landscape. Another stipulation we had on here was to provide an enhanced landscape plan. In the 50-foot buffer we have, there's currently behind the neighborhood community, there's a 50-foot undisturbed buffer. We would also, in the next 50 feet, we would have an enhanced landscape plan to be approved by the professional city staff. And then stipulation number 3, I believe Ms. Miller recommended a chain link fence. We spoke with the community and we got some pushback on that due to the, what it did for them, and also taking down some of the trees that we would have to put up the fence. So those were some things we were able to do. We were also able to discuss the noise, as I mentioned earlier, I apologize, from 20. And as we talked about, as they drive by highways now, there's these big concrete walls they install for noise buffers. And so we felt like our building being, made of concrete tilt wall construction would buffer a lot of the noise. There would be 2 walls from their community in front of, in between Highway 20 and the residential community. So I did feel like that would buffer a lot of the current noise they hear that's going through the vegetation currently.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Are there others here that would speak concerning this? But first, let me ask Council, Madam Mayor, do you have any questions of the applicant with this new information? Yes, Madam Mayor, go ahead.
I don't have a question in particular. I had a comment, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the developer and the citizens for coming together and trying to make a consensus. We appreciate your time and the community's time as well for coming together and trying to work to make this project better for everyone involved. And I know a lot of times it's like marriage. You don't get everything you want, but you just try to make it work. So we do appreciate you taking the added step in our recommendation to go forward and meet with the community, and we appreciate the community taking the time to meet with the developers. So we appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. That's all I had.
Others? Yes, Ms. Miller, go ahead.
I also would like to thank everyone for coming together and working on this to try to find some common ground. I know that you guys did not have a lot of time to get together with this, so I'd like to thank you guys for that. And I'm hoping that we've got a couple of the residents also either online or here this evening so we can hear a little bit of feedback from them as well. But thank you guys very much. That is all.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Any others?
Yes, Councilman Adams, thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for meeting with the residents. I'd just like to know what type of, with the building, what type of applicant are you looking for to occupy the building?
Sure. So we're looking at a speculative development. All I can tell you is, I can tell you what we're seeing demand for in some other projects we've built as far as e-commerce distribution. That's really been growing during the pandemic, but as far as what we're seeking to approval for is a speculative development.
Sure. Okay. And then also, how many docks will you have with the building?
I'm not sure. We haven't gotten our architectural plans done, but they will be all along the front of the building there. If you look at the site plan, it's roughly, the site plan in front of me, but I'm going to guess somewhere in the 300 to 400 feet range. 300 to 400 feet range. So I'm going to say, I'm going to just ballpark here, but anywhere from 20 to 30 dock positions.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Ms. Burr Danley. Coach Watts, did you have any comment or question?
No, sir. No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Jackson, do we have anyone on virtual that would like to speak?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone here in the audience that had a comment, input, either for or against on this item? Please come forward. Don't see anyone. Oh, I do see someone. All righty. Just pull that down, ma'am, to help you. Just pull that down. There you go. There you go. Name and address for the record, and we'd love to hear from you.
Daphne Bradwell, 5495 Summer Mill Road, which represents the Somerset subdivision, which is the biggest problem. And we did talk. We had a good conversation with the developers over the weekend. One of the issues that's still bothering us is the traffic that's going to be generated on Fairburn Cherokee Road. This Westmoreland coming out of that area is going to have to make a left turn to get on Fairburn onto Cherokee and to Fairburn. And I can imagine right now we have a backup because of the racetrack on one side, the churches and everything else, the other activity at that corner. It's going to be hard trying to figure out how the traffic is going to move on a regular basis with that influx of trucks coming out. We don't know what the volume of trucking is going to be. I know it's going to, it's a speculative thing, but still, the traffic is going to be a mess. It's already sort of tiresome up there trying to get in and out on that particular area. Also wondered, how does that impact the work that they're doing on 92, which is half a block from Cherokee and Fairburn? Is that going to impact it at all? So considering the fact that the work that they have, the information they've given us regarding the development itself and how we would be impacted or not so severely impacted, we were able to work through that. It's primarily now the traffic that's going to be generated and what can we do about that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Others?
Ms. Pastor Ramsey.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Charles Ramsey. I live at 5406 Summer Mill Road in our wonderful city of Douglasville. I just want to lift up three things that I think are very important. We are opposed to this. Number one, traffic. Number two, we are concerned about our property value. And number three, noise. We don't need any more noise. We have enough off of 20. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Council, Madam Mayor, any other comments?
Yes, sir. I know Councilmember Burr Danley did bring up about the right turn or no traffic, no trucks traffic. Major Davidson, could you just talk to us about that? It's on Cherokee and Westmoreland. I know that and in the Somerset subdivision, there's one way in and one way out. So I know we get a lot, and that's county at one point on Cherokee, but if you can just talk to us a little bit about traffic and what we could do to try to remedy the issue of traffic and influx of trucks on that road with the residents, if it's approved.
Well, generally speaking, no truck traffic is only for through traffic, so trucks making local deliveries can still go on routes that are designated as no trucks. As far as alleviating the problem, I'm not sure of the amount of vehicles that are proposed for this facility, so I haven't really looked at it.
Okay. All right, that's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm a little confused because I'm hearing the developer say that there was a consensus meeting with the community, and I'm hearing community members say that there wasn't consensus. Are we getting two different stories?
Well, I think what I heard was that they did meet and they did attempt to address concerns, and there were some concerns they were able to address and some that they were not able to come to consensus on. Is that basically the picture that was painted?
Okay. Fair enough.
Other comments?
Councilman, Chairman Adams, I do have a concern with trucks coming out of Westmoreland, leaving Westmoreland and having to make a left turn at that light because there are no truck traffic going to the right. So I'm not, I mean, that
Yes,
could
but
be-
that's the way you would want it to go to get back to a major thoroughfare. You would not want it to go right and go through a residential
Sure.
area.
Right, I do
Yeah.
understand that, but I'm saying I am concerned with a 18-wheeler truck making a left turn. That traffic is very packed right there, safely.
Point taken. Did the applicant have a reply that they would like to make? I mean, as we close this out.
Absolutely. When we identified this property, we looked at the area and similar industrial uses, I guess industrial zone properties next to us, and also an industrial behind the hotel. There's a truck 18-wheeler parking lot back there. So there's currently trucks coming in and out of Westmoreland Plaza currently.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, were they required to have a traffic study from ARC?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Size of the project would not have dictated that. Yes, Ms. Burr Danley?
Yeah, the property initially, before it was changed, was residential. So I drove there, I didn't see that there's industrial traffic, only when Cracker Barrel was there, but what other industrial?
Well, there's
trucks
many
would be-
warehouses there, if I'm not
I mean,
mistaken.
that's
Is
just,
that correct, Ms.
that's
Williams?
residential warehouse. I haven't seen any industrial trucks go down that, not up and down, not like that. Unless I'm missing something, I drove all the way to the end.
If I'm not mistaken, probably the truck parking would have been 18-wheel trucks that would have stayed in the hotels there.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yes, yes.
But not for delivery.
As I said, there are many warehouses there, I know that. And if I'm not mistaken, the comment was made in our Thursday meeting about no one really knew how this was zoned residential, but maybe I can give a history lesson.
Oh, you can save it.
Having
Okay.
been the oldest, well, I don't know, Mr. Davis
You're
is
the
a little older
oldest.
than me, but.
Toss up a coin.
And he is local. But
We've
I
been
grew up
around
in
the
the
same
neighborhood in that general area, and everything there was zoned residential.
Right.
Until it began development when I-20 came through. So it was probably the only piece remaining that has not been rezoned. Obviously, it has not been used for anything other than what the original intent was, is residential.
Will there also be, to the developer, will there also be, like, not where the subdivision is, but on the back side of the subdivision, will there also be a buffer on that end? I think there's like a dead end at that side of the street. Like if I were to go all the way up Cherokee and make a right past the church and then come down to that back end, I don't think you'll be touching it.
I'm trying to get the page number to pull up, Ms. Burr Danley, so that we can look at
It's a
that.
50-foot buffer.
That buffer is going to, go ahead.
There's a lot of vegetation already back there. You
Yes.
probably may not even be.
And the buffer is going, the setback is going to be dictated as to what your abutting property is.
Right.
And so it may be 50 feet, it may be, I believe in this case, abutting light industrial, it's 100.
Right,
With
okay.
50 of that being no disturb and 50 then being a landscape buffer.
Gotcha. All right, thank you so much.
Just as a matter of information, I believe the adjoining property to the east is a mobile home park. The adjoining property to the west, I want to say, is many warehouses. Am I wrong? Am I correct?
No, that's right.
Okay. I don't have the satellite, I just have the site plan. And then you have to the north, you have approximately 8 to 10 residents from the Somerset development that would be impacted there. Okay, so any other comment or question? Yes, Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to try to make a quick comment, and not to be controversial, but I know we talked about buffers for sound being a brick wall, and that they were going to do 2 brick walls to try to muffle some of the sound. Is that correct, the developer?
Actually, ma'am, the building itself is concrete.
Okay, so building
So
is.
it's not additional buffer walls, no.
Oh, okay.
No,
I
it's
thought
the
he was talking
building
about a
itself.
firewall or something. No? So just,
If the building was a 35-foot
Uh-huh.
high ceiling, which will then provide the buffer, which is similar to what you have up and down the interstate. was the
Okay.
example that was used.
because the interstate has concrete walls to mitigate some
correct.
of the sound.
Yes.
Okay, and then 92, we talked, one of the comments from the citizens was about 92. And I don't know, Ms. Williams, if you can address that, if there would be an impediment for a realignment for Highway 92. I don't think this would,
I don't think so.
and I know Transportation Chair, you know as well. So it would not impede or any, or,
Yeah, I can't really speak to that, to be honest with you. That's not really a project that I've been working on.
okay,
Just
Transportation
from my
Chair.
recollection, I mean, the subdivision is so far from the Highway 92 construction, I don't see that there would be any impediment that I can see. That'd be a question to ask GDOT, but I don't see any. That the project doesn't even touch in that area.
If I'm
Of
not
course, traffic,
mistaken,
you still have cut-through traffic
Yeah.
everywhere. Cherokee Boulevard, people are cutting through and going the back way, so they don't have to go down that far to Highway 92. That's the only thing that I see right now, that you're just gonna have more, I mean, you'll have probably no additional traffic, but I mean, there's going to be impeding traffic. There's a couple of roads that people are taking cut-throughs until this project is finished.
But Cherokee is a no-truck,
It is.
it's supposed to be no truck traffic on Cherokee Boulevard.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Just keep in mind, if you have a local delivery, the truck is allowed to go to that delivery
Right,
point.
yes, sir.
But they're not allowed just to travel that as a through route.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's unfortunate because they do.
I know, and
They
a
still
lot of tickets are
travel.
being
Yes.
written on that street, and that's why I know about the county portion, because I talked to Sheriff Pounds about
they
writing those
still
tickets
travel.
on that street. That's all I have, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, thank you.
Thank you. Other questions? Yes, Ms. Miller?
I'm still a little concerned about the traffic that Dr. Burr Danley was speaking of because of those not being city streets. If we do run into issues, I'm not sure what our options would be to mitigate any of those traffic issues if those trucks are having issues turning left, coming out of that street right there. Have you guys spoken with the county? And actually, that's such a small piece of road right there then between that left turn and then that next red light, so I'm not even sure if you could get another light in right there.
If I can respond, typically, what happens is they work out the timing and the sequencing on the traffic signals. You know, Cobb had to work with that for many, many years in terms of doing that. And when they finally sequenced it, the lights, it did make a huge difference. And so what they do is they develop their timing as the use goes in.
Right.
So that's the way you would address that.
I think my biggest concern though was with that not being a city street, it's not up to us to work on. So if our city residents then have an issue with that traffic.
Well, they're also in the county as well, so, I mean, those same residents would have the opportunity to visit with, as with these folks. I mean, they want to make sure.
Right, but
that
you're
they're gonna
asking
get
for
access.
zoning in the city.
That's correct.
Although that street being in the county, that's my concern.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Yes, Ms. Miller, I think the impeding problem, it would seem to me, would be those trucks and that traffic sitting to come out of Westmoreland and make a left.
Right.
The residents that would travel up and down Cherokee Boulevard are not impeded as long as they get a green light. I mean, there's going to be a red light there at some point. You're going to stop at Cherokee Boulevard and Highway 92. 92 is controlled by the state DOT as far as that red light
Right.
that the gentleman has spoken of. There's not another light there where Westmoreland comes out, and I don't know that there's enough distance that we could get a light there if that's where you're headed.
No,
for
and that was my question. I didn't know if there was enough distance to add another light in, but then if it was needed, I don't know that we could do that ourselves.
Correct.
And without, of course, working with the county on that. And so therefore, I didn't know if you guys had already spoke with the county about if we would possibly need one.
as you know, that it has to meet certain warrants to
Right.
be able to do that, and I doubt that it would probably meet those warrants on the front end.
Okay. And also, I know that it was brought up about that being a residential, and I know that we had also spoke about this last week because, of course, I can't imagine who would want to live that close to the interstate. And I also understand that since, Cracker Barrel left that road down there that's been, 15, 20 years ago, that little road has just dwindled down. And quite honestly, the businesses that are down there are an eyesore, really. So I can't imagine that y'all's building could hurt the aesthetics of that street right now, but I was really hoping to hear from a few more residents this evening and I know that you guys had said that you're looking at Fortune 500 companies, and this is really on a scale of warehouses. This is very small. But again, I was hoping to hear from some more residents on this.
Any other comment or question? Madam Mayor, I think you had something else you wanted to say.
No, sir.
You sure?
You're reading my mind. I was just concerned about the traffic, and I know, like I said, to tell Councilmember Miller, and I did talk to the sheriff about ticket writing in that area. And as the developer said, the gentleman said before, if it becomes an issue, if this is passed, and that traffic volume requires some more synchronization with the lights, we can do that like we do on Chapel Hill Road, which is city and county. And we talked to them about synchronizing lights there and Highway 5 as well. So once an area becomes more congested, since we have a service delivery agreement with the county with traffic, they do, synchronize the lights based on requests that we have once we give them traffic volumes. But I'd asked at the onset of our conversation if this development required ARC to have a traffic study done, and it did not, based on what they're proposing to for the area. So regionally, if it's going to be a lot of traffic that's going to be a detriment to the area, or they think it's going to hurt that community, the Atlanta Regional Commission will ask for development to present a DRI or a traffic study to the city or county, and they did not require one at this for this developer. You're welcome.
Any other comments? We're probably pushing our time, but I want to make sure everyone has the opportunity.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Coach, thank you for speaking up. I forgot to mention you again. Go ahead.
Well, no, I just, all this discussion brought a question in my mind. One of the residents mentioned property values, and we've heard that before on other matters that have come before us, and I wish I had more expertise in that area. I was just curious about how these type of developments affect property values. I wish that was part of this conversation, or somebody had data either supporting that or not. But I'm just curious about that, because nobody wants their property values due to another development to go down. And I'm not saying that would be the case here. I would like to know more on that. I wish we had access to some of that information in other areas.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Okay, there are no other. Anyone? Ms. Miller?
I was just going to say to Councilman Watts on that same point, which of course we never know what the market is going to do exactly, but at this point you could pretty much sell, your child's 4x4 dollhouse on a 10 by 10 foot lot for $130,000 in the city of Douglasville. And I mean, that's not very far-fetched. And looking at what is down that Westmoreland area right now, this warehouse, I don't see how that could possibly hurt property values. The things that are going to hurt our property values are going to be when the foreclosures are released, and depending on how fast that happens and how the market moves with investors and things of that nature. The prices of building materials is going to affect your property values more than a warehouse going down that road, because again, having that warehouse come in means that there may be a little more road maintenance and a little more beautification down that area.
And that's spoken
Thank you
from
for
the
that.
real estate. That's the real estate agent talking.
Yes.
Her real estate agent hat.
Yes, sir.
So J.P. Morgan, the famous financier, was famously asked what the market would do, and he of all people should have been able to predict it, and he said it would fluctuate.
Fluctuate.
So.
Okay.
You're right.
And we will close that portion of the public hearing, and I will ask a couple of questions or a question. It is of my opinion then that we would consider, if we consider approving this, that the stipulations that have been printed and given to me would need to be a part of a motion, and those stipulations are 3 in number, but stipulation number 3 concerning a fence would not be included. Is that the consensus that I'm hearing from the applicant? And also, I believe you mentioned, sir, as a reply from the residents, that it was not something that they wanted.
That is correct, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to make a motion that we approve this item, item 21-160, with the following stipulations. Number one, Euphoric Development 5 shall provide an enhanced landscape plan on the rear side of the building along the residential neighborhood in between the building and the 50-foot undisturbed buffer, which shall be approved by the City of Douglasville's professional staff. Stipulation number two, Euphoric Development 5 shall paint the rear exterior of the building green and or brown to blend in with the natural buffer and landscaping. That's item 21-160, motion to approve with those stipulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve item 21-160 with the stipulations read by Chairman Adams. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 21-160. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Raise your hand so we can count the city clerk, please, so she can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Opposed, nay. Please raise your hands. Okay. So I believe it's 5-2. Is that correct, city clerk? Okay. 5-2 majority wins so 21-160 is approved.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, and thank you all. We'll move on then to item D, consider a petition to annex 1.67 acres at 800 Maxim Road in land lot 522, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 3. Application by Daniel J. Tolman. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. Per Coach Watt's request, we did upload a map with a list of all the liquor stores in the city of Douglasville. So that should be, I think, your page 10 attachment. There's a total of 9. They're concentrated more so on Highway 5, Chapel Hill Road. There's actually only one on Thornton Road. You don't see it?
No, ma'am, I do not see it on my, I have 6 pages of attachments. I do not see it.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, refreshing.
Is it on the next item by chance?
It's on the rezoning.
Okay,
Yeah, it's on the rezoning.
okay.
But that goes with both items, and so just wanted to make you aware of that. The map, again, it's on page 10. We did upload it, and there are 9 liquor stores in the city of Douglasville.
Are there any and I'm not going to go to the next item because I'll get so confused I won't be able to get back. And then I'll have to call Sam, he'll be upset at me. So there are none in the general area, and I believe the distance limits is 1/2 mile or 2,500 feet, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There is one on Thornton Road existing, but it's beyond the 2,500 square feet requirement.
Okay. Questions, comments? I know that we had discussed this on Thursday night.
No opposition from the county?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead, Coach Watts.
Okay, I guess I'll just point out that, this is an annexation. The second part of this is how they want to zone it. But I know that the city has requests for parcels to be annexed into the city. I know that over the years I've been on the council, we've accepted some and we have not accepted it all. I guess my concern, I've had voiced this before, 9 liquor stores, city limits. I know there's only one on Thornton Road. I don't have an issue per se with small businesses. I guess I would like to see more of a variety, and I know that they meet the requirements of the 2,500 feet. But I just, as a citizen, and I've heard this from other constituents, that, how many liquor stores or package stores, how many do we need? Of course, some would say that the market would decide that, but we do have a concentration in the city. People are buying at package stores. They're finding their way, getting what they want. And I don't see a shortage availability in the city. And I'm concerned about annexing a property in specifically for this purpose. So that's all I had to say, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Davis.
Mr. Chairman, is this our location right there at the Burger King? I want to be for sure.
No, sir, this is not that item. This is the item prior. This is the item on the corner of Maxim and Skyview Drive.
Okay, I want to make sure, okay.
Yes. Others?
Opposition from the county? Do we have any?
We've not received any opposition.
Okay. And Ms. Yes, Ms. Miller?
Have we heard from any of the residents in that Skyview area?
I'm not aware of any. We don't have any residents over there. Well, not in the adjacent properties.
Right, but the Skyview on down that road, just a little ways, that is residential though.
Right, but we've not gotten any opposition for this item.
Okay, thank
Ms.
you.
Ms. Jackson, do we have anyone virtually online?
No, sir.
No, this is not the item for that. I'm ahead of myself. Okay. Seeing none then, understanding that this is a part of the next item, but we have to take the annexation first. I'll make a motion to approve item 21-239 for annexation.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second, moved by the chair, Councilman Adams, and second by Councilmember Davis to approve the annexation for item 21-239. Do we have any additional comments or questions from council members? Councilmember Watts.
No, ma'am. I've said my piece.
Yes, sir. All righty. Thank you so much. Not hearing any other comments. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
City Clerk, did you get two? Dr. Burr Danley and Councilman Watts? Okay. It's 5-2, so this item is approved by majority. 21-239 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We'll move on to item E. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from OI Office Institutional with conditions in the county to GC General Commercial District in the city for 1.67 acres at 800 Maxim Road in land lot 522, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 3, application by Arpit Kumar Patel. Ms. Williams.
Okay, Patrice Williams, we have nothing additional to add.
Okay. Is the applicant present, and if so, do they have any additional information to add? No additional information to add, okay. Council, Madam Mayor, any questions or comments?
I don't have any, Mr. Chairman.
Is there anyone, Ms. Jackson, that is virtual to speak of this?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone here in the audience that would speak either for or against the item? Please come forward. Okay. Seeing none, I'll make a motion then that we approve item 21-162.
Second.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Again, it's been properly moved in second. A motion to approve by Chairman Adams and second by Councilman Davis to approve item 21-162. Do we have any additional comments or any deliberation as relates to this item from council members? Councilman Watts, you have anything?
No, ma'am, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. Not hearing any other comments. All those in favor of approving this item, E, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
It's Councilman Watts and Burr Danley. Did you get that, City Clerk? Thank you so much, Ms. Acker. 5-2 again. This item is approved by majority. 21-162 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We'll move on to item F. Give my computer a minute to catch up. Consider a petition to annex 1.17 acres at 991 Thornton Road, land lot 582, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 2. Application by Ashish Patel, Shraddha Patel, Rabhani Patel, and Rushpa Patel. Ms. Williams.
Patrice Williams, we have nothing additional to add. We do have the applicant here. I think they have submitted some additional information for you that should have been uploaded, but we do have the attorney with us.
Please come forward.
Good evening, and I'll talk about both items at the same time, the annexation, because they're obviously very much related, and I appreciate everybody's time and consideration of this.
Name and address for the record.
Thank you. For the record, my name is Parks, up for the law firm of Sams Larkin & Huff, 376 Powder Spring Street, Marietta, Georgia. 30064. I appreciate everybody's time in regards to evaluating these cases. And I think I shared with you, and you should have in your packet, the information that was also confirmed by your staff, that there's only one existing package store at Thornton Road exit. And when you consider the amount of traffic on Thornton Road, I-20, this whole traffic corridor, that is not unexpected to have additional package stores there. The package store that you just approved is it's up Thornton Road, but serving a different market. It's off Maxim Road, not on Thornton Road. And so they're really serving different interests in terms of who there's there. My client has 3 businesses in Douglasville. They live in Douglasville, and they'd like to put a package store at this location. One of the questions last time was package stores and concerns about the area. One thing that's good about package stores is that's the only thing they do is sell alcohol, so you find them making sure that they do a good job at that. So, you know, it's not usually the operation of government to pick and choose who survives and who is the best location. We think we've got a superior location to serve the customers, and we will provide, obviously be challenged to provide the best customer service. So, you know, to deny something as competitive as this would be, you know, potentially unconstitutional. So I appreciate your time and consideration of the application. My clients are here also to answer the questions.
Thank you. Thank you. Council, Madam Mayor, any questions concerning this item?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I didn't have a lot of questions. I just had a comment to make. Of course, we appreciate any citizens, and especially that are invested in the community, that are already giving back and being a business owner and living in the community. I just had a couple of concerns about the proximity of this. I know it is beyond where the Maxim Road is one, but again, like I said on last Thursday, it's like coming in and going out, that this is something that greets you, a package store. And the only difference with this one, and I don't know the will of the council, but is that it's right next door to Burger King, Taco Bell, Home Depot, you know, around the corner from a pediatric, Westside Pediatrics, which my kids went to when they were younger. So it just gives a little different feel in that it's not, like Skyview and Maxim is more commercial, and this is, you know, commercial and real estate as well, but businesses, but it just gives a different feel. I'm not as comfortable having a package store next to a family eatery, which is the Burger King and Taco Bell right on that corner. And then going into I-20 traffic, a package store right there on the corner, it just seems a little congested as well. So those are all of my concerns, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others? Mr. Davis?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. That's an in and out. I find a cut through to come out of Home Depot to get over there to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty bad location on that corner, because we'll find a cut through to get to it. So I don't know.
Any other question or comment? Ms. Miller?
I would just remind you guys that right over on Douglas Boulevard, across the street from one of our nicest restaurants in Douglasville, we have a package store. I really think it is what you make it. And I know earlier, just the other day, I was showing a house in an area that is really nice, and there's a Total Wine like right there. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. You know, I don't know if I think that that's the best location to get out of there, but that part's not up to me. I would just like to remind you guys that it doesn't have to be bad.
Yeah.
To be right there located next to other things if, you know, we don't have to go.
Well said, Ms. Miller. Yes, Mr. Estes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to piggyback on Councilwoman Miller's comments. This land has been sitting vacant for over 20 years. And if there was another viable use for it, I find it hard to believe that it would not have come to pass during that length of time. I don't have the issue with package stores that a lot of people here do, but regardless of that, I feel like that's something for the market to decide, the location and the need for it. That's not in our purview. this meets the requirements for annexation and for rezoning. It's actually, from my interpretation, it's an improvement in the zoning from a lot of the standpoint it's going from, potentially going from heavy commercial to general commercial. That seems like an improvement in the zoning to me. Now,
Let's stay on the annexation
I'm not a city
stay on the
planner.
annexation
Okay.
first.
But again, it
makes sense.
It makes sense from every angle to me. I just don't think we should be the ones making the decisions that the market needs to make. Thanks.
Sure. Coach Watts?
Chairman. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate and respect everybody's opinion on this. And I am not trying to pick winners or losers. I think it's beholden to us to develop the city of Douglasville to meet everybody's needs. And when I've said what I've said about package stores and how many is too many, I've said that in that vein. With that being said, I just find it ironic that the only reason the annexation is before us is because the county doesn't allow package stores. And of course, Douglasville is inside the county. And right now we have the lion's share of package stores. But with that being said, I do appreciate everybody's opinion on this, and I do respect everybody's opinion on this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Any other comment or question? We're going to move on. Yes, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Mr. Chair, thank you. I would want to echo what former Mayor Pro Tem Siegel said last week, that, we are a growing city, and if we're growing in a proper way, then all businesses are going to be increasing and improving, and there's going to be a greater demand for a lot of different things. So I don't think that we can really look at any particular issue and set limits and say we can't have so many of this type of business, because there's going to be more demand as we get big. I don't know what the census figure is going to come out this year. I think we grew something like another 11 or 12% since the last census, but that's a lot. That's more people and more products, more services that are required. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sure, thank you. Any other comment or question?
Vote your conscience.
Pardon?
I said, vote your conscience.
That's right. Okay. Item F then, 21-237, considering annexation. I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve 21-237. Do we have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 21-237. Do we have any additional comments or questions as it relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
Nay.
Nay.
Okay, I believe we have three. Do you have that, Ms. Acker? Yes, ma'am. Okay. So it's 4-3. Item 21-162 is approved by majority.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We will move on then to item G, hold a public hearing and for a change in zoning from CH Heavy Commercial County to GC General Commercial District City for 1.17 acres at 991 Thornton Road, land lot 852, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 2. Application by Ashish Patel. Ms. Williams.
Patrice Williams, we have nothing new to add.
Thank you, ma'am. Is the applicant here? And if so, yes, we just heard from the applicant's representative. Go ahead, sir, if you have new information.
No new information, nothing to add. Thank you for your time.
All righty. Is there anyone, Ms. Jackson, on virtually to speak concerning this item?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there any question or comment? Mayor, council, Coach Watts?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And is there anyone here in the audience to speak concerning this item? Okay, seeing none, then we will close that portion of the public hearing. And as several of our fellow council members and Madam Mayor have stated, I may not be a fan of a package store. I may not be a fan of liquor by the drink or otherwise. I may not be a fan of partaking myself, but and I may not be a fan of the location personally, but I do feel that it is our responsibility to give that opportunity and allow the businesses to attempt and go forward. So with that having been said, I'll make a motion on item G, 21-161, to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 21-161. Do we have any additional comments or questions from council members? Thank you, sir. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay.
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 Thank you. I believe the vote is 4-3 again. Did you have that, Ms. Acker? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. By majority, item 21-161 is approved. 4-3.
Moving on to item H, hold a public hearing and consider a request for change in zoning from GC General Commercial District and PRD Planned Residential Development District to PRD Planned Residential Development District for 6.04 acres on Durley Lane, land lot 50, District 1, Section 5, parcel 72 and 120. Application by Mr. P.J. Hornick, Southport's Financial Real Estate, LLC. Ms. Williams.
Patrice Williams, we've not received any new information on this item.
Okay. I see that the applicant is here or was here. Is there additional information, Mr. Hornick, that you would like to provide? If so, you're welcome to come forward.
No new information at this time.
All right. Thank you, sir. Council, Madam Mayor, do we have any additional questions of the applicant? No. Coach Watts?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Ms. Jackson, is there anyone here on the phone to speak concerning this item?
No, sir.
Okay. And is there anyone here and present tonight to speak concerning this item, either for or against? Okay. Seeing none, then we will close this portion of the public hearing. And on item H, 20-293, make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 20-293. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or any deliberation as it relates to this item from council members? Coach Watts?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Councilman Watts. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
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 Thank you, sir. Opposed, nay? The ayes have it. 20-293 is unanimously approved. You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We'll move on to item I. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a variance to reduce the required 75-foot billboard setback requirement from all buildings, structures, and property lines in Section 7.086B of the Unified Development Ordinance for a variance of 35.4 feet for a remaining requirement of 39.6 feet on the eastern side of a lot, and for a variance of 3 feet for a remaining requirement of 72 feet on the western side of a lot of 1.34 acres at 9415 Highway 5, land lot 160, District 2, Section 5, Parcel 2. Application by SK Georgia Partners, LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, we've not received any new information on this item.
Thank you, ma'am. Is the applicant present? Is there anyone here to speak for, the applicant is not present?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there any question or comment, update from any council or Madam Mayor? Is there anyone to speak virtually on the phone?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone here and present to speak concerning the item? Okay. Sir, if you have a comment for or against, please come forward. Give your name and address for the record, and we would love to hear from you.
Eddie Parker, 3820 Liberty Road, Villa Rica, Georgia. And I apologize, I wasn't at the first meeting, but I am a tenant of the property and want to know a little bit more information about what is going on. I just saw the sign out there this week as opposed to what they were doing. I'm not sure what is going on. I'm a tenant there on the property.
Okay. Well, first of all, your relationship as a tenant versus the landlord would be between you and the landlord. So it would not be anything that we could necessarily help you with, other than that the application is for a variance so that there can be a closer distance between a gasoline canopy that the tenant or that the landlord would like, or the owner would like to install, and that his setback, his variance away from an existing billboard could be reduced via a variance. It's my understanding over the years, well, I know for sure, I traded at the convenience store when it was a convenience store prior.
Correct.
And there was that same variance in place for a canopy. And that's as much as we know, that's what's in front of us to be talked about.
So we don't know what they're going to do with the property, that's what you're saying?
Well, we know in our information that they have given us a request for a variance to be closer to the billboard and to install a gasoline canopy with gasoline tanks and gasoline dispenser.
Oh, so that would make me believe it's going to be a service station there, correct?
I believe the preliminary drawings have shown that there would be some sort of convenience center included in their center.
Okay, that's what I was saying. And I apologize, I didn't get to the
No,
first meeting,
you don't
so I didn't see
apologize.
the drawing, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's the reason we have two meetings, sir.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm glad I found out about this one. And I will talk to my landlord tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay, so, and I'm just trying to find out what they do, because I've been there 10 years, and it sounds like I'm being put out.
Well, we
And I
have
know
no
you don't have
idea
anything to do with that, but
what
I'm
the
just.
lease
yeah.
situation is,
Right,
but
right.
yes, I would definitely discuss that with,
And I will,
with
thank
your-
you.
with
I was just
the,
trying to get a
property
little bit
owner.
more information about what they were doing.
yes.
All right, thank you
sir.
for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Councilman Adams, on the drawing, am I looking on the right one where it looks like the building is still going to be there? They're just adding?
The information in the site diagram, that it appears to me,
Like it's a,
Ms. Burr Danley, yes, you are correct. It may be reorganized, but I think the question here is, will we allow a variance in order for them to install a canopy for a gasoline pump operation?
Right.
And that's the only thing we're asked to do. So I would assume that at some point, some portion of that strip center would then become a convenience store with gas pumps.
Right.
But we're not in a position,
Right,
and not been
I
asked
understand.
to approve a redevelopment plan for that purpose, have we, Ms. Williams? This is just for the variance.
For the variance.
But yes, I agree with you.
yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chairman, I was going to ask if the tenant did you see the drawings?
No.
Were those included in the presentation?
They're online. We have them loaded on our computer. I can't.
Could you please
They're
show him,
uploaded to the public.
pardon me, could you,
They're uploaded to the public.
could you please show him the drawings?
Yeah, how
Do you
does
mind
the
coming forward so you can see the drawings? I was
And I
going to
have a
let you.
question too. I know that we put out the blue sign with the announcement. Does it give instructions on how the public can access the document?
They're on her tablet.
As to, well, I'm sure it would give a meeting time and date. And
It's in
Ms.
the
Jackson,
paper.
can you help? Does it have a
But is there information on how the
website?
public can access the document?
No, ma'am, I don't believe that there is anything on there saying they can go to the city's website for the agenda. Is that what you're asking?
That is what I'm asking.
Right.
So,
Ms. Woodward, did you have a comment on that?
It's not required by law to provide that. However, these are considered public records, so citizens who are interested may request the city to provide it, and it's already made available.
By being on our website?
Correct.
Okay.
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 thank you. That's something new I learned.
Okay.
Yes,
No.
you might want to.
Coach Watts, did I already ask if Coach Watts had any input?
No, you
I'm
didn't.
getting ahead of myself.
I do not, Councilman Adams.
Okay.
I just want you to see. Yes, sir. You're welcome.
All right, if there's no other person here to speak for or against, then we will close that portion of the public hearing. And I will, on item 21-224, I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 21-224. Do we have any additional comments or questions as it relates to this item from council members?
Madam Mayor, I would just ask that, if I'm not mistaken, I believe we talked about this on Thursday night. I don't want to repeat myself, but we did have a very similar situation in the past, and there was a variance to cover that billboard at that time also.
Yes, sir.
It's not something that we're changing, it's something we're just going back to that the property owner had requested.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all, thank you.
Any other comments as it relates to this item? Not seeing. Coach Watts, do you have anything? Councilman Watts?
No, ma'am, Madam Mayor. No, ma'am, no, thank you.
All righty. Not hearing any other comments. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Nay. Thank you, sir. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 21-224 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We'll move on to item J, consider a request for approval of a development plan for Lowe's tool rental on 16.13 acres at 7001 Douglas Boulevard, land lot 160, District 2, Section 5, parcel 95, for plans dated April 9th, 2021, application by Lowe's Home Centers LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director. We have nothing new to add. This item does meet the requirements of the UDO. We do recommend approval for this development plan.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Questions, comments of council? We had seen the drawings, the renderings on Thursday night. Coach Watts, do you have any input or comment?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Seeing none, then we make a motion to approve item 20-230 for the Lowe's development of a tool rental.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second, moved by the chair, Councilman Allison, second by Mayor Pro Tem Miller, to approve item 21-230. Do we have any additional conversation as relates to this item? Any comments, questions, concerns? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you, Coach Watts. The opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 21-230 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're
Item
welcome.
K, consider a request for approval of a development plan for I-20 West Business Center for 26.42 acres on Blairs Bridge Road, land lot 617, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 6, land lot 581, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 2, and land lot 616, District 18, Section 2, Parcels 1 and 2, for plans dated April 15, 2021. Application by East Group Properties LP, care of John Ratliff. Ms. Williams?
Okay, Patrice Williams, we have reviewed this item. It does meet the requirements of the UDO. We do recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Questions, comments of council? Madam Mayor?
No, sir.
Coach Watts?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Is there anyone on the, we're not giving any opportunity for public comment on any of the items remaining, so I apologize for asking that, Ms. Jackson. Okay, if there are no others, then I would make a motion that we approve item 21-231.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. We had a tie. Did you get it, Ms. Acker? Councilman Watts or Estes? Councilman
Ma'am.
Davis? Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve 21-231. Do we have any additional comments as it relates to this item from council members? Bless you. No. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
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 Thank you, Councilman Watts. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 21-231 is unanimously approved. L.
Yep.
Consider request for approval of a development plan for arbor space storage, arbor place storage for 3.2 acres at 4959 and 4989 Reservoir Drive, land lot 23, District 1, Section 5, parcel 12, and land lot 24, District 1, Section 5, parcel 16, for plans dated April 1st, 2021. Application by J. Michael Bell at Adevco Corporation. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director. We did upload the additional request information from Mayor Pro Tem Miller. Both do meet the requirements of the UDO, so at this point, it's just a preference for Mayor and Council.
So all of the development drawings that have been supplied to us do meet the requirements. They were similar as to the original, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Are there questions of council or Madam Mayor that they may have on this particular item?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, I do want to say, I stand corrected to the developer. The drawings were much similar, more similar than I remembered. I'll attribute it to, poor eyesight.
What about the number of items, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem? What about the number of items you look at? That may have something to do with it also.
Perhaps
It does me.
I would like to make that as an excuse that I confused it with another project, but that puts me into a different category of being a little bit addled.
Thank you for clarification of that. Any other question or comment? We have a development plan up before us that is approvable according to staff. Seeing none then, I'll make a motion that we approve item L 21-232.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved to, properly motion by the chair and second by Councilman Davis to approve item 21-232. Do we have any additional comments as it relates to this item from council members? Any further discussion? Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I'm glad you approve. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
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 Oh,
Apologize. Was there something,
There's a hand waving
a hand waving?
behind Ms. Williams.
oh, during citizens' comments, you can.
That's correct. Not at this time, no ma'am. Okay.
Okay, council members, I apologize. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 21-231 is unanimously approved. That's the wrong one. 21-232 is approved. L.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
I promise this will be over in a minute.
It's okay.
Consider a request for approval of a development plan for Greystar Preston Boulevard for 41.32 acres at Preston Boulevard and Bob Arnold in land lot 678, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 10, in land lot 677, District 18, Section 2, Parcels 2 and 5, and land lot 709, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 2, for plans dated January 5th, 2021. Application by Greystar Development East, LLC. Ms. Williams.
Okay, Patrice Williams, we've not received any new information on this item, so we recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Questions, comments? Madam Mayor, Council, we've seen the development plan. Staff says it is approvable. Coach Watts, do you have any comment?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
We just want to make sure you're still there and hadn't checked out. Okay?
I'm awake.
Seeing none then, I'll make a motion to approve item 21-238.
Thank you so much. We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Coach Watts or Councilman Estes, did you get it, City Clerk, Ms. Acker? You didn't get it? Do you get Councilman Watts? Okay. It's been properly moved by the chair and second by Councilman Watts to approve item 21-238. Do we have any further discussion as relates to this item? Any other comments? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you, Councilman Watts. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 21-238 is unanimously approved.
We'll move on to item N. Consider a request
Yes,
for
sir.
final plat approval for the purpose of subdividing into 10 lots, 43.5 acres at Riverside Parkway and Market Street in land lot 162, District 1, Section 5, parcels 1, 2, and 20 through 29. Application by Tributary Village LLC, care of Ms. Julie Sellers. Ms. Williams.
Okay, Patrice Williams, we've not received any new information. It does meet the requirements of the UDO. We recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Are there questions? Council, Madam Mayor? Mr. Estes, that's you.
No.
Okay. What about you, Coach
I'm
Watt?
good.
What?
I don't have any questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing none then, upon staff's recommendation, then we would make a motion that we approve item 21-240.
Second.
Thank you so much. It's been properly moved and second, moved by the chair, Mr. Adams, and second by Councilmember Davis to approve item 21-240. I see that Ms. Sellers is in the audience. You have anything new? No? Okay. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. No opposed. All those in favor was unanimous that 21-240 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And
You're
last
welcome.
but not least, consider a request for proposed ordinance to amend subsection 2.02 of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow breweries as a permitted use in the CBD Central Business District and as a special use in the RMP Regional Marketplace and GC General Commercial Districts, application by the City of Douglasville. Ms. Williams?
Okay, Patrice Williams, Community Development Director. As the item reads, it is a city-initiated item. It does allow for breweries to be in the downtown district.
Ms. Williams, that is allowing it in the downtown area with the same constraints, the same setbacks, the same requirements as far as a setback away from church and school and so forth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so none of that changes?
None of that changes.
Questions, comments?
I do
Yes,
have a
Madam Mayor.
question. Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I did receive a couple of calls in relation to breweries, and if you can just explain what they are again. I know we had Hops Brewery years ago, and there was another one, I can't remember where, but the ratio of food versus alcohol, and it's just beer is tasting, and if you can just give a description of what breweries are.
I'm going to defer to Ms. Woodford.
The definition of brewery is really, for purposes of our UDO, is basically a place where they manufacture malt beverages, and if they, they're only allowed to pour what they manufacture in their tap room. And when you're talking or thinking about a food to alcohol sales, you're thinking about a brew pub, which is not what we're discussing here, and it's not impacted by any of our, by this ordinance.
So brew pub is different from brewery?
That is correct.
And with this application that is recommended by the city, they still have those requirements, as the chair has said, where you can't be within that ratio of 200 feet or whatever before a school or a church.
That is correct. This does not change our alcohol licensing requirements.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for description. Thank you, Ms.
Other
Williams.
questions, comments? Yes, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And if I may add, Madam Mayor, just to kind of add on to the practical side or experiential side to what our attorney has said, what we often call microbreweries now, it is technically a brewery, is they're designed to be very different from the experience of a restaurant or a bar. And there's been a lot of confusion by a lot of people thinking that breweries and microbreweries are bars. They're not bars. They're basically a place more akin to what I would say going to a winery. You know, people who don't go to a winery to get drunk, they go to because they like the craft of winemaking, and so they go to taste, as the chair mentioned. And brewery is the same thing with beer, is people go there to taste, and you're not likely to go and spend $8 a beer to get drunk. It's just too expensive. And it's a very different crowd that would go to a bar versus that goes to a microbrewery. So it's something to think about as we move forward and we look at the ordinances regarding microbreweries. Many of them are actually family-oriented. They're trying to attract families to that. They'll provide non-alcoholic beverages as well, but they do not sell any other alcohol. They do not sell hard liquor. They do not sell wine or spirits at all. It's just simply, as the attorney pointed out, beer that is manufactured on the premises.
Okay, so it's like Chateau Elan for...
Yeah, exactly. It's a Chateau Elan of beer.
Okay.
The same way.
Okay, thank you.
Others?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead, Coach.
Hey, just one quick question, clarification for me. When we're talking about manufactured on the premises, what they serve has to be drunk on the premises, or are they also a supplier of people going there to get a keg for a party or something like that? Just because I'm not familiar with breweries.
That would depend on what kind of license they get, but a brewery is, the concept of brewery is basically a manufacturer plus a pouring license. Currently, I don't believe that we are providing a takeout attached to that license, or what is it called, a growler.
Actually, additional clarification, if a brewery were to open up in the entertainment district, would they come under the open container law?
Could you repeat that question, please?
Sorry?
Could you repeat that question?
Repeat the question.
I said if a microbrewery opens up within the entertainment district, would they be under the open container rules?
If we have an open container district activated during that time, people would be able to consume their purchases in public places.
Yeah, we do have, we have an entertainment
Yeah.
district.
But it's only, like Attorney said, it's only activated under, I think, permitting process, correct?
Correct,
Yeah,
Mayor Pro
there's a per-
Tem. If I could add, yes, that comes before mayor and council in order to be approved. So if they wanted to go within the entertainment district and have the open container, they would have to come to you all for approval.
So there's that layer of protection there. They can't just because they're in the district, they can't say, hey, we can do whatever we want.
Correct.
Good.
Mr. Chairman, I have one question.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Davis, I'm sorry.
The governor signed the takeout order. Would the brewery fall up under that? Legal? Ms. Woodward?
Well, was the question, could they take out?
Yes, the governor signed the takeout.
That is just restricted to restaurants currently.
Okay.
Any other? Coach, did that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr.
Right.
Chair.
Anyone else? Yes, Ms. Miller.
Okay, so just to clarify for myself, because the breweries and the brew pubs are separate, so then if we were to have a brew pub, which would have a restaurant involved, would they have to then come back for another ordinance change?
We would have to
Does that
check
make sense?
in these particular zonings whether or not a brew pub is already allowed in there.
Okay. So forgive me,
There are different use than breweries, so we have to go by zoning, what the zoning allowed uses are.
Okay. I feel like I'm kind of learning as I go on this topic. I did learn a little bit on our field trip, and it was nice to see that it was actually, and I've been before in other cities when I've visited, but because I think it was not pertaining to my own neighborhood, I think I looked at it with a completely different lens. And to see that they have really pretty garden areas, and they are adding walking trails, and they do, trivia nights, which is something that I know my family loves. They, have the food trucks out there, and their hours of operation at the one that we visited was just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And on those Thursdays and Fridays, they don't open until 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, it wasn't until like 2 p.m., and then they still don't stay open late. And when you're looking at the price for these beverages, again, when you're paying, $7, $8 to maybe $10 for a beer, you're not going to get that same crowd that I know I initially was thinking of that's going to go to, that would be the whole budget for the weekend when you're in college. So just a little bit, I'm not sure. I think it was eye-opening for me to see that it was something that could really benefit our community, but at the same time, I just wasn't sure if we needed to add something to this, or I guess with I don't know.
Yeah, brew pub and brewery, it's a little confusing.
Well, I think you will find that in the wording here, the purpose of this particular ordinance change is to allow brewery
Right.
in those districts. It's not distinguishing between brewery and brew pub. We have a definition of a brewery, and that definition, I'm sure Ms. Woodward can recite for us what can and cannot be done as far as takeaway, as far as food percentages, as far as how much can be created on the premises, whether it can be drank there or whether it can be taken away in a bag. Can you help us with that, Ms. Woodward? And let's close this out.
We thought we were done.
And maybe we'll answer everyone's questions so that we're all clear on it.
So breweries are really, they're first and foremost a manufacturer of malt beverages that they happen to have a tap room, and they can pour what they manufacture on the premises to serve customers. Whereas a brew pub is really first and foremost a restaurant that happens to have malt beverage on tap. So that's the main difference. They kind of look alike, but they're really different animals.
It sounds as though to me, you're not requiring restaurant food preparation and service in a brewery because you are limiting them so much to how much they can manufacture on the premises already.
That is correct.
Okay, so they're going to be limited. They're not going to go to Atlanta Beverage and buy their product and have it just available case after case
No,
after
they're
case?
limited to what they
What
manufacture.
they manufacture there on the premises that they can sell?
Correct.
Okay.
I think, you think of a brew pub as kind of almost like a hybrid
Yes.
between a restaurant and
Yes.
a
Yes.
brewery. So they manufacture but they also sell food. so.
Yes. Other questions, other comments? Coach Watts?
I'm as good as gold.
Thank you, sir. On item 21-218, and I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's been made by the chair to approve, I think second by Mayor Pro Tem, or Councilman Davis. Did you get it, Ms. Acker? Mayor Pro Tem. So it's been properly moved and second to approve item 21-218. Do we have any additional comments? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 21-218 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all that we have tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. You did a great job. It's a lot of items. We'll move on then to item 13, Public Improvement and Beautification Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Relations, Public Relations Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We also have no business this evening.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Samuel Davis, Public Safety Committee.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Thank you, sir. Technology Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business at this time under the Technology Committee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move on then to Transportation Committee, chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShun Burr Danley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other business from council members this evening? Okay, I don't see any. Then we'll do updates from city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Our staff attorney, Ms. Lynn Woodward.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Our chief of police, it's not the chief, it's Major Davison. We have any business from the police department?
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Our assistant city manager, Ms. Chelsea Jackson.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Staff reports. We do have a staff report, and this is under Recreation, Culture, and Tourism, which is Councilman Watts' committee. It's a discussion regarding the current town green space amphitheater draft, RFP for construction, and the project delivery method, and that is from Mr. Marcus Thompson. You stayed a long time, Mr. Thompson. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll try to be brief. I know it's a long meeting. So we received the 100% construction documents last week. It's currently in review by staff along with CPS. So being said, we're currently in the bidding phase, preparing for the bidding phase. So I just want to invite Mr. Eric Johnson and Sean Craig out tonight just to go over the project delivery method and the current RFP draft with you guys, just to be transparent.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll transition it over to Mr. Craig.
You all been here all evening, too. Good to see you.
Sean Craig, CPS, 3368 Hardy Avenue, Atlanta.
Hey, Mr. Craig.
We are, as Marcus said, we are in receipt of the 100% design documents. The design did not change from previous approvals. Has been uploaded to the city's SharePoint site for everybody's review, comment. In regard to the RFP, the RFP, we're going to use the city's standard RFQ form with a delivery method of design, bid, construct, with an allowance for unforeseen conditions.
Okay.
That's.
I'm looking at Mr. Adams, developer. Is this good? See, okay, design, build?
No,
Yes,
ma'am. It's design,
definitely,
bid,
yes.
construct.
Okay, design.
Design, build, construct. And so at what time would that, or what are the plans then, gentlemen, for us to put that out, to go, when will that go out? When will that RFP go out?
We've been talking about it. We're going to have a couple weeks of drawing review, and we're going to submit our plans to Mr. Mettler's group for review. We're hoping to get comments from their group and technical comments from ourselves and incorporate some of those things before we go to bid. So we're looking at, end of the month, 1st of June? We've still got some work to do on the text of the RFP, and we're working through that with procurement and the finance department.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Any other
exciting.
comments? I know it's exciting. Any other comments from council members as relates to this item, staff report about the town green?
Welcome
Mayor
to
Pro
Mr.
Tem.
Just welcome to Mr. Johnson. Long time no see. Welcome back.
Any other comments? No. Thank
Looking
you so-
forward to it.
Oh, Councilman
Thank you.
Watts. I know that was your committee. I apologize, Coach Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm looking forward to this process.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you to CPS and Mr. Thompson. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Good to see you again. Yes, sir. All right, so that is staff reports. So we have comments from citizens and delegates. Yes, ma'am. If you have any comments, please come forward. You have 5 minutes to address us on any business as relates to the city or potential business. And we look forward to, please give us your name and address for the record, and we love to hear from you.
Cindy Welch,
Yes, ma'am.
3002 Concord Way, Douglasville. I have a comment about the Arbor Place storage, I guess they're calling it.
Yes, ma'am.
I kind of looked at the site plan online, and it looks like there is a driveway out onto Arbor Place Boulevard as well as Reservoir Drive. But I couldn't tell if the driveway on Arbor Place Boulevard, if anyone was going to be able to make a left turn into there, and if they were going to make a left turn out of there onto Arbor Place Boulevard, which would be a nightmare. But from the site plan, I could not tell that.
I don't know. Do we have that information, Ms. Williams? Could you please address that? I was going to go back to the plans. I can't remember exactly.
You all voted on it a few weeks ago, but you can only make a right turn onto Arbor Road.
Arbor Place.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So we can only make a right.
Okay, what about if you come off of Chapel Hill, you turn onto Arbor Place Boulevard? Is someone going to be able to make a left turn into that driveway? Or do they have to go down to Reservoir Drive and make that?
Reservoir Drive.
Okay, and are you going to put something up so people cannot? You know, we put up with that over at Stewart Mill Road.
Yes, ma'am, going into
And people are
Coles.
forever making left turns into it and left turns out of it.
Yeah, there are signs
And
up
I can
there.
just see this doing the same thing, and Douglas Boulevard, you know, that's going to be a whole lot worse off than Stewart Mill Road.
Yes, ma'am. We'll make certain that we put a pin in it and remember to put signage up, plenty of signage. And because it's going to be a new development, I'm certain we'll have the police department in that area kind of monitoring traffic and letting people know where they're supposed to go.
That ain't going to happen.
Yes, it will. Why you say it's not going to happen?
Because they don't come over and do it over there at Coles.
That's county, I believe.
I know, but you all allowed that driveway.
There are no parking sign, no U-turn and no turn
I see
into.
people, now listen, they make a right turn off of Chapel Hill onto Stewart Mill, and that driveway that you're supposed to come out of Coles, I've seen people go into it.
I know.
I mean, there was a car coming out and one going in, and I thought, y'all going to get just what you deserve. I mean, it's
Well,
terrible to say, but,
Yeah.
and if they would put a raised median there, like you did at Bright Star and John West Road,
Yes.
that is the most wonderful thing. And these people, at least make them do it, because they're brand new. Put that raised median. It'll just ruin your car if you decide you're going to make a left turn.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's something for us to discuss. Yes, ma'am. That is a good point.
Okay, and I have one more.
Yes, ma'am.
A year ago, I came here about Durley Lane, and those people parking.
Yes.
It's still there. And my understanding is they went to court. What did the judge do? Do I have to go to the judge and ask him what he did? Because there is a truck. It's a large pickup truck, and he has this thing behind him that you roll cars up. Do you know, that thing was not any further from, it was closer to the road than this. I mean, it was unreal. Because I saw a car turn off of Fairburn Road, and they had to come over in the lane I was in order to get around that truck. and that was Friday afternoon. Now, it's been a year.
Right.
And then I saw a lady walking up there this week, and I'm thinking, you poor lady, I wouldn't be walking on that road.
Is it
Why
Dorley?
you can't make them move that stuff?
It's at the facility you're talking about that's
Penley
stored?
Towing or
Yes.
whatever they're called.
I know, Ms. Williams is part of her department with code and compliance, and I'm sure, I know they've been to court several times. I don't know if you have a report, Ms. Williams.
But how long does
It's
it
with
take
the
for
judge.
Judge Rollins to make a determination?
I have a meeting with him tomorrow, and I can talk to him.
If you don't have a meeting, I'm going to get one with him.
Yes,
And I'm
ma'am.
going to tell him what I know. Because I guarantee if somebody gets hurt over there, I mean, it's on all of you and him.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I came last April. It shouldn't take 365 days.
Yes, ma'am. I'm certain. I know they've gone to court, and like I said, I do have a meeting with him tomorrow to talk about some other issues. I'm not certain if you noticed on Fairburn Road that parking lot is being resurfaced but of course, I don't have to tell you about civics, but different branches of government, we have to let judicial do what they do. We're legislative, we set the policy, and
Listen, I worked in county government 28 years, so.
Yes, ma'am.
But I don't ever remember we had anything that took 365 days and still not have it fixed.
Yes, ma'am. But I do know they've gone to court, and I don't know where the status is, but I'll speak with him tomorrow, and I'll have someone
They
respond to you.
should owe you all a lot of money if they were fined.
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you so
Sorry.
much. Oh, no problem.
I'm going to keep bringing it up until it gets fixed.
That's what you're supposed to do. In Solomon, the lady just kept coming in the Bible. Okay, we have any other comments from citizens and delegates? Anyone on the line, Ms. Jackson?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, we don't have any other comments from citizens and delegates. We do have an executive session, so we are going to take a break before we go into executive session, but I will open the floor to adjourn into executive session to discuss real property disposition and litigation matter. So thank you so much. We do have thank you. Mayor Pro Tem, it's been properly moved in second by Councilmember Adams to go into executive session, second by Mayor Pro Tem Miller. All those, and we have any questions or comments as it relates to going into executive session? No. All those in favor of adjourning into executive session to discuss real property disposition and litigation matter after a 5-minute recess, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We are into executive session to discuss real property and litigation matter after a 5-minute recess. We're into executive session. Adjourn.
See you.